The Tower of Babel is a symbol of human ambition and divine intervention. The story of the tower is one of the most fascinating and mysterious accounts in the Bible. But what really happened at Babel? Was it just a tale about human pride, or is there more to this ancient story than we've been told? The story of the Tower of Babel appears in the book of Genesis, just after the flood. The people of the earth, united by one language, decided to build a tower that would reach the heavens. Their goal? To make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered across the earth. But God, seeing their pride and ambition, confused their language, causing them to scatter and abandon the tower. What was the real motivation behind the tower? The people's desire to reach the heavens wasn't just about building a tall structure. It was a sign of their growing self-reliance and pride. They wanted to make a name for themselves, to create something so impressive that it would solidify their greatness. But in doing so, they sought to build their own identity apart from God, which was a direct challenge to God's plan for humanity. God's response was swift and powerful. He confused their language, causing the people to no longer understand each other. Without communication, the construction of the tower came to a halt, and the people were scattered across the earth. But why did God intervene in such a drastic way? Was this a punishment for pride, or was it something more? Perhaps it was about preventing humanity from reaching a point where they could live completely independent of God. It was a way of showing that there are limits to human ambition, especially when it contradicts God's plan. The Tower of Babel holds deep theological significance. It's a story about pride, unity, and the limits of human effort. The people at Babel believed they could build a tower to the heavens, a physical representation of their self-reliance. But God's intervention reminds us that true greatness and unity are found in God's will, not in human achievements alone. The scattering of the people and the creation of different languages also marked the beginning of the nations. What was once a unified people became a divided humanity, each with its own language and culture. This division set the stage for the spread of nations across the globe. But this wasn't the end of God's plan for humanity. Despite their rebellion, God would later bring about the unity of nations through Christ. The Tower of Babel may have been an ancient attempt to defy God, but it's also a reminder of our need for humility and dependence on Him. The story challenges us to reflect on our own ambitions and remind ourselves that true fulfillment comes from aligning our goals with God's will. So, what really happened at Babel? It wasn't just about a tower. It was about pride, unity, and God's sovereign plan for humanity. If this story of the Tower of Babel sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into biblical mysteries and teachings. Let's continue exploring the untold stories of the Bible together.